The WNBA has become the laughingstock of all sports, man, because the ticket prices are horrendous. This is a championship game.
All right, you guys, this is honestly wild. You have to see the ticket prices for the WNBA Finals. I'm talking every game, even a potential Game 7. The prices are so low it's almost embarrassing. When can you snag a finals ticket for the same cost as a fast food combo meal? That's rough. We're seeing tickets as low as $25 for the biggest basketball series of the year. And no, that's not a typo. And so how did the most successful WNBA season ever end up with empty seats and rock-bottom ticket prices? Be real. Would you go to a finals game if it only cost $25? Because apparently a lot of people still won't. Let's unpack this, because the situation makes no sense. All season long, the WNBA has been celebrating record TV ratings, historic growth, and unprecedented momentum. Yet here we are at the finals, and ticket prices have crashed harder than a Caitlin Clark fast break with no foul call.
Finals will debut. The Las Vegas Aces versus the Phoenix Mercury. And I'm telling you right now, this is probably going to be one of the lowest rated WNBA finals.
And this isn't old news. It's happening right now. Let's talk numbers. Game 1 of the WNBA Finals in Las Vegas. You'd think the entertainment capital of the world would be packed, right? Wrong. Nosebleed seats are going for around $30. Lower bowl seats? $45. Want to sit behind the bench? $90. Second row off the court, about $130. To put that in perspective, I've been to concerts where parking costs more than that. Compared to last year, prices have dropped drastically. Those same seats used to be 2 or 3 times higher. Courtside tickets in 2024 went for roughly $2,000. This year, you can grab one for under $1,000. Even behind the basket seats, around $800, are some of the only spots close to selling out. And here's the kicker, these aren't reseller prices. These are official listings straight from Ticketmaster and SeatGeek, which means the league and teams can't even fill arenas at face value.
Now, we know the controversy that led up to this game is pretty much attached to Caitlin's name. That is the Las Vegas Aces actually knocking off Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever. Well, Caitlin did not play, but we know the referees kind of had a hand in that, we should say, with kind of making sure the Las Vegas Aces was pushed to making it to the finals. Not to mention, we got none other than Dewana Bonner, former Indiana Fever, quit the team herself in the talk and conversation of this WNBA Finals, and more importantly, her significant other, Alyssa Thomas, has found herself in some hot water as well, with not really speaking about the current.
Now, don't get it twisted. It's not like Vegas suddenly stopped caring about basketball. The Aces are still that team. Aya Wilson is putting up legit superstar numbers, and Chelsea Gray and Kelsey Plum are as entertaining as ever. And let's not forget, they're facing the Phoenix Mercury, a team that clawed its way back into relevance this season. But here's the harsh reality. Outside of diehard WNBA fans, almost nobody's paying attention. And that right there is the league's biggest nightmare. Because when Caitlin Clark was playing, it was a completely different story. Tickets vanished within hours. You couldn't find resale seats under $200 for Fever games back in May now. Without her on the court, that buzz, that electricity has all but disappeared.
And that is the WNBA ticket prices. Yes, you guys heard me correctly. The ticket prices. So Legion Hoops, they made it their business to tweet about this. Now, I find this to be quite funny, me personally, bro. It says tickets for Game 1 for the WNBA Final between the Aces and Mercury are starting.
And this right here proves what so many fans have been saying all along. The league's hype this year wasn't driven by organic growth or some genius marketing strategy. It was driven by one person, Caitlin Clark. She was the show. She brought the fans, the headlines, the sponsorships, and most importantly, the numbers. Without her, the WNBA looks like it's slipped right back into its old struggle for relevance. And here's where it gets either funny or kind of sad, depending on how you look at it. Commissioner Cathy Engelbert is still out here saying the league is in the strongest position it's ever been. Ma'am, with all due respect, if things are that strong, Why does it cost less to attend your finals than to bowl a few frames at the MGM Grand? The ticket data tells the real story. Prices started around $50 for upper-level seats when the finals matchup was announced. Within a week, they dropped by 20%. By the time the media even picked up on it, you could grab lower bowl seats for under $1.60. That's not a growth story. That's a warning sign.
I'm WNBA MVP. Asia Wilson can't even get tickets up to $50. Bruh, this is bad. I mean, this is beyond bad. This just tells you the state of this damn league. And I'm here to tell you, this is hella funny. It says the most unwatchable basketball product possible between the two teams left standing. Not to decimate it by injury, Cathy Engelbert really outdid it herself.
Okay, let's be real. This is a total optics disaster for the WNBA. All year long, the league's been pushing a historic growth narrative. Record ratings, big brand deals, Nike partnerships, and merch flying off the shelves. But what good is any of that if no one's showing up for your championship? And of course, the online defenders are already out in full force. It's Vegas. There's just too much competition for attention. Sure, but this is the finals. If the NBA ever hosts its finals in Vegas, you're not going to see $25 tickets or $45 lower bowl seats. You'll see people happily dropping thousands because people actually care. The truth is, the league completely miscalculated. They put too much faith in social media hype and not nearly enough into building a real, loyal fan base that shows up to games. And here's the uncomfortable truth no one wants to say out loud. This finals matchup has zero storylines that draw casual fans. No Caitlin Clark. No Angel Reese. No viral drama. No trash talk. No edge. Just basketball. And while the product on the court might be solid, the league has spent all year training fans to care more about controversy than competition. Let's be honest, Aces versus Mercury doesn't sell itself. There's no rivalry, no tension, no villain versus hero narrative. It's just two teams playing good basketball in front of half-empty stands. Even some players are admitting it quietly. The finals energy just isn't there. Compare that to the start of the season, when every single Caitlin Clark game felt like a national event. Fewer games were packed. Reporters everywhere. Fans lined up hours early. That buzz? Completely gone, and this isn't just about Clark being injured. It's about how the league treated her and her fans. Every time she got fouled, mocked, or dismissed, fans noticed. Every time the league ignored it, they lost more people. Now that the Caitlin bump is gone, the numbers have crashed right back to reality. And just wait, this looks terrible heading into CBA negotiations. Players are rightfully demanding higher salaries, better benefits, and bigger revenue shares. But how are you going to argue for a pay raise when finals tickets can't even clear $40? Owners and networks are going to point straight to these empty seats and say, you had your best season ever, and fans still didn't show up. It's a lose-lose. Low attendance means less revenue, fewer sponsors, weaker media deals, and zero leverage. Meanwhile, Commissioner Cathy Engelbert is still out here giving press conferences talking about record growth, and the league being in its strongest position ever. With all due respect, if things are so strong, why can't you fill an arena with $30 tickets? If you're going to claim historic success, you also have to admit historic apathy. And online, the optics are brutal. People are posting screenshots of Ticketmaster maps showing thousands of empty seats. Some are joking it's the most accessible finals in history. Others say the silence in the arena is louder than the officiating whistles this season. It all comes down to one core problem. The WNBA keeps ignoring what fans actually want. They want consistency. They want stars promoted the right way. They want fair officiating, authentic rivalries, and leadership that doesn't talk down to them. Instead, the league keeps trying to manage its image instead of engaging its audience, that it's like they're allergic to natural success. Caitlin Clark brought them an audience they'd never dreamed of. And instead of embracing it, they treated it like a threat. Now look where we are. Finals with historic lows in ticket prices, half-empty arenas, and a commissioner pretending it's all part of the plan. It's both hilarious and depressing. If this continues, next year's finals might as well be held in a high school gym. And the worst part? It didn't have to be this way. The WNBA had everything lined up, new sponsors, national attention, growing fan interest, and one of the most talked about athletes in the world. They could have ridden that wave into their strongest season ever, but instead, they coasted. They assumed the hype would just carry over. They relied on hashtags, slogans, and momentum instead of marketing, storytelling, and fan connection. And now reality's hit them square in the face. Even players like Sophie Cunningham, Nafisa Collier, and Aya Wilson have started calling out leadership, and the response has basically been more committees and listening sessions. At some point, you need action, not PR spin. Because the truth is painfully obvious. Fans came for Caitlin Clark, not for the WNBA. Without her, there's no spark, no national interest, and no storyline that grips people. The finals should feel like the climax of the season, not the hangover after the party. And the league's attempt to spin cheap tickets as making the finals accessible. Please, accessibility is selling out and adding more seats, not slashing prices because no one's buying. Even ESPN's coverage feels half-hearted. You've got empty seats behind the broadcast desk, dead crowd energy, and awkward silence during timeouts. For a league that won't stop talking about momentum, this finals feels like someone slammed on the brakes. And no, you can't blame the economy. Fans are still paying hundreds for concerts, college football, and UFC fights. This isn't about money, it's about interest. That if people won't spend $30 to see your championship, that's not a pricing issue. That's a relevance issue. The WNBA had a once-in-a-generation opportunity to turn new fans into lifelong ones. But instead of embracing that, they alienated them. Now, they're paying the price, literally, because you can't tweet your way out of empty seats.